Alright, the next question will be from chapter 3, which is production and cost. So in this question, they have given you a graph and also an incomplete table. So you are required to fill in the blanks based on the graph and also based on whatever information that has been given. Okay, so here you can see two different quantity of outputs. We have 50 units and also 60 units. So from the graph, this is 50 units, this will be 60 units. Okay, so in this table we have average total cost given, average variable cost and marginal cost given for 50 units of output, and then for 60 units we only have average total cost, and this is total cost. So first of all, we can see that the average total cost is 20 ringgit per unit. So if you times with the quantity of 60, that's how you can get this total cost of 1,200 ringgit. So we can also apply the same concept here. If the average total cost is 21 ringgit, if we times with the quantity of 50 units, then we should be able to get this total cost. Okay, so we look at this formula. Average total cost, this one, average total cost is equal to total cost divided by quantity. So total cost divided by quantity. So we have the average total cost, which is 21. This is given in the table. So we want to find total cost. Okay, so it's divided by 50 units, and we will get total cost equals to 1,050 ringgit. So we'll fill in the blanks here. 1050 total cost for 50 units. Okay, and next, the marginal cost for 15 units is 14. Okay, you can see from the graph here, 50 units marginal cost is 14. This is the marginal cost curve. Okay, so at 50 units, this at the marginal cost curve is 14. So for 60 units, the marginal cost at this point it's 20. Okay, so it's already given in the graph, so we can just fill in the blanks here. Marginal cost 20 ringgit. Okay, so next we can see that there is AVC given here, but nothing else here. Okay, so what can we do with AVC? If we have the AVC 14 ringgit and we also have the quantity of 50 units, then we can use AVC times with the quantity to get total variable cost. Okay, so AVC equals to total variable cost divided by quantity. So if AVC here is 14, substitute 14, quantity we substitute with 50 units, and we can get total variable cost is equals to 700. So now we can fill in the blanks here. TVC equals to 700. Okay, so now it gets easier when you have total cost, you have total variable cost, then you just have to find the difference and you can easily get the total fixed cost. So 1050 minus 700, and we know that total fixed cost must be 350, because fixed plus variable is equal to our total cost, so we just have to find the difference. And since total fixed cost is fixed, okay, regardless of the quantity of output, so 50 units, if the total fixed cost is 350, then for 60 units as well it has to be 350, because this is a fixed cost. Okay, fixed for both level of output. So from here you can see that if total cost is 1,200 and if the total fixed cost is 350, again you can find the difference to get the total variable cost. So this will be 850. Okay, so again, once we have TVC, we can divide by 60 units, then we should be able to get average variable cost. So the answer here is 14.17. 14.17. So this is TVC 850 divided by 60 units, 14.17. Okay, so lastly we have the average fixed cost. So you should have no problem doing this because you have the total fixed cost, so it's easy for you to find the average fixed cost. So AFC, average fixed cost, is equal to the total fixed cost divided by the quantity. So this is 350 divided by 50, then average fixed cost will be 7 ringgit here. As for this one, we will use 350 divided by the quantity of 60 units. So average fixed cost will be 5.83. Okay, so we have completed this table. Alright, so next we will look at another part in chapter 3, which is on the explicit and implicit cost and accounting profit and economic profit. So here in this question they say that Michael earns 250,000 yearly, and Michael plans to quit his job to start up his own restaurant. So he surrendered his investment policy worth of 150,000 that earns 25% interest annually, and he has to allocate 100,000 yearly to pay his labor, 24,000 for rental, 100,000 for cooking ingredients, and his total revenue is 500,000. Okay, so part 1, they require you to calculate the explicit cost. As we all know that explicit costs are your operating costs that involves direct outlay of money. So what does he have to actually pay for is the wages of 100,000. He has to pay for rental 24,000 and to pay for cooking ingredients 100,000. So explicit cost here will be 224,000. Okay, all these are operating costs that involves direct outlay of money, direct payment of money. Okay, so if you have the explicit cost, we can now calculate the accounting profit. Accounting profit is to use total revenue minus explicit cost. So total revenue is 500,000. We minus the explicit cost of 224,000. So accounting profit will be 276,000. And lastly, it's the economic profit. To calculate economic profit, we need to have explicit and implicit cost. So implicit costs are opportunity costs, what Michael had to give up. Okay, so here we can see that because he wanted to start up his own restaurant, he has to give up his salary of 250,000. So this is one of the implicit costs, and also he has given up this 25% interest which he could have earned from this 150,000 if he had not invested this sum of money into his business. So this 25% of this 150,000 will be the interest that he had to give up, because he invested this amount into his business, so he couldn't earn this 25% interest. So that is his opportunity cost. And if you sum up these two figures, you get implicit cost equals to 287.5 thousand. So lastly, to calculate economic profit, we have to use the total revenue minus explicit plus implicit cost. So just now we mentioned that total revenue is 500,000. Explicit cost from the previous calculation is 224,000, and here we have this implicit cost of 287.5 thousand. So Michael actually had an economic loss, because we get a negative figure. It's an economic loss of 11.1 thousand. Right, so that's the end of part 3.